everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am keeping it really simple. I have been trying to do reading challenges and I've seen so many reading challenges over booktube in the past few months, and honestly I've realised that when I try and do a challenge for a week, for example reading a certain amount of pages a day or anything like that, I end up failing and reading less than I would have read if I just didn't put that pressure on myself. So this week we're going to keep it really simple. We're going to strip it back to the good old days and we're just going to do a normal weekly reading vlog. So I am currently reading Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. This is a reread that I'm doing. I read the first 5 books in this series. I got to Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. I was planning on tandem reading them, but then I just left it too long and completely forgot what happened in this series. So me and Jemima, I'll link her in the description, are doing a buddy read of this series. I have missed a few days on the buddy read just because work was hectic, and again I put pressure on myself to read and so I didn't read. So I'm currently on page 104, which is chapter 14. I am supposed to be on about page 300 or so. So I'm going to catch up today. So if you're unaware, today is Good Friday, which is a bank holiday in England. So I'm off work today and I'm actually off work until next Wednesday. I booked off next Tuesday and Monday's a bank holiday as well. So I have 5 days off work and I'm planning on spending it reading the entire time. So I'm rereading Throne of Glass. I'm not going to reread The Assassin's Blade because that one is a collection of short stories that I just don't feel like I need to reread. That book is actually the one I remember the most vividly because it was the most emotional to me, and I just don't feel the need to reread that one. I will say that people who are starting the Throne of Glass series, as someone who's read up to Empire of Storms, please do not read The Assassin's Blade first because it won't mean as much to you. You won't enjoy it as much as if you've read at least To Crown of Midnight or Heir of Fire before picking up The Assassin's Blade. Honestly, it really annoys me when people tell people to read The Assassin's Blade first because that's not the order it should be read in, and it really upsets me because I know how much I connected to The Assassin's Blade short stories because I knew context of Selena and her story. So yeah, honestly, just please don't pick up The Assassin's Blade first. Please at least read up to Crown of Midnight before you read The Assassin's Blade. That's just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's fine, but I'll always recommend to read The Assassin's Blade 3rd or 4th in the series. Anyways, now that rant is over, like I said, I'm reading Throne of Glass. I'm going to try and get to page 300, maybe 350 today. Like I said, I'm off work, so we'll see. But I just thought I'd start just standard old reading vlogs or weekly reading vlogs back again, because I just find that I read so much more and I enjoy so much more reading when I don't put pressure on myself to complete a challenge or read specific books. So we're just going to do classic old weekly reading vlogs once again. Ew, why am I so zoomed in? Okay, I actually can't remember when I started this video. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but either way I'm pretty sure I said, oh, I'm going to finish Throne of Glass. I didn't finish Throne of Glass. I am on page 253, so I have 151 pages left of this book. Honestly, I'm not even mad that I haven't finished it yet because I'm really enjoying reading this book. Like, I'm savouring every second because I feel like I didn't do that the first time around. I can't believe how good the writing is. I absolutely love the writing. There was specifically this one conversation between Dorian and Selena and I was like, this is so well written. I was just literally kicking my feet and screaming. But I'm at the point now where the magic has been introduced, and so is like the mission or the side quest, I don't know. But basically Selena has now got this thing, a secret of her own, and I'm trying to figure out what to say without spoiling it. It's a secret mission and it's to do with magic, and I forgot about this part of the book, honestly. Like, I remembered the magic part, but I forgot like how it started and why she's doing it, and I'm really enjoying this. I love Selena and Nehemia's friendship. I'm just scared for what's to come because I know what's to come, and yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than I'm really enjoying my reread of Throne of Glass, and I'm so happy that I'm doing it. Also, I just filmed my April TBR, and oh my god, it's probably the biggest TBR I've ever had in my life, and let's just say these weekly reading vlogs better help me through this because it's huge, it's humongous, and I'm scared, but I really want to actually finish my TBR this month because I haven't finished one yet, so we're gonna do this, I'm confident. I have just finished Throne of Glass, and I'm honestly so happy. I can't believe how much I still loved it even on the reread. It was so good. I'm so happy that I'm back in this world, and I'm really excited for Crown of Midnight. The love triangle sort of romantic situation. First of all, like, I still can't believe what's about to come, because I know what's about to come and I can't believe it. But the switch up is crazy, and also the little references to things that are to come in the future books, I picked up on them in this reread, obviously, because I wouldn't have noticed them before because I didn't know what it was referencing, but on the reread I was like, oh my god, I know what that's about, like specifically to do with the magic element of this book. I am still terrified for what's to come in the next book because I know what's to come, and specifically the storyline with Dorian. I'm scared because I'm gonna be, I don't know what to say without spoiling it, but I'm scared for the next book, but also extremely excited. I'm giving this 5 stars on the reread. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars on the first read as well. I just uploaded my April TBR a couple of hours ago, and it's the last day of March today, so I do need to start on my April TBR next. I was going to pick up Crown of Midnight straight away, but I think I need something to break it up. Yeah, I just think I need something to break it up, so I'm going to pick up The Fury by Alex Michaelides next, I think, which is a thriller / murder mystery, and I haven't read a murder mystery thriller in, I think, since January, so I definitely need to pick that up. It's been on my TBR for months. So I'm going to pick that up next, and hopefully it'll be a fast read because Alex Michaelides books, I'm pretty sure, The Silent Patient and The Maidens, I read both of those in 1 or 2 days, so I'm hoping The Fury will be the same. But yeah, that's what I'm going to pick up next. I'm going to have a little break now, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick that up tonight, or start it tonight. It's currently Sunday. God, I'm out of breath. It's currently Sunday. I'm off work for another 2 days, so I'm hoping if I start The Fury tonight I can finish it tomorrow and then start another book tomorrow going into Tuesday. I just want to make a good start on my April TBR these first couple of days before I go back to work. But yes, that is my update. Throne of Glass reread completed. Yeah. Under the sunset, fighting demons on a level 1. Super soaker, that's a water gun. Hurt my feelings, had to get it done. Okay, hello. I'm here to give my first update on The Fury. I took the dust jacket off because if you read a hardback with the dust jacket on, you're insane. But I'm currently 55 pages in, which is chapter 9 of Act 1, and I really like how this is written. It's basically being told from the present tense, like looking back. So it's being told by Elliot, who is a friend of this famous movie star called Lana. Lana owns this Greek island. It's like a private island, and the group of friends or it's not just friends, it's like family too. They go to this island quite often and spend time there, and so it's being told by Elliot looking back at this, the last time they went to this island, and so far everyone's arrived and they're like just settling in, not much has happened, but we're sort of, Elliot's sort of describing the characters as he sees them, which makes him quite an unreliable narrator because he's not very objective. I also think he's a little bit narcissistic. He like talks about how one girl, Kate, doesn't like him because he like stole Lana away from her, and I just think he's really unreliable, so I have no idea what direction this is going to go in. All we know so far is that a murder happened, there were gunshots and a murder happened. We don't know who died or who did it. That was just sort of in the prologue, and then Elliot starts from the beginning and goes through all the events. I really enjoy it so far, and I'm so excited to keep reading. I'm actually going to try and finish this today. Honestly, my goal for today, it's Monday the 1st of April, and I just want to read as much as possible today. If I can finish this book today and start another one, I'll be very happy. I've got like 300 pages left of this, but like I'm confident I can do it because I'm really enjoying the book already, so I think we'll be fine. Okay, I have just got to Act 2 in the book, which is page 121, and we've just found out whose murder has happened, and I went on Goodreads to like see what other people are thinking about this book because I'm really enjoying it, and the reviews are bad. Like, majority of the reviews I read, everyone's like, I don't like the narrator, I don't like how it's written, the book's really slow. But I think the opposite. Is it just me who is really enjoying the Fury? I don't know. I love the unreliable narrator. I love that we don't know if he's telling the truth or not. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm gonna continue until I'm bored with it. I don't want to say too much because obviously it's a thriller and I don't want to spoil anything, but we've just found out who was murdered. There's tons of tension between everyone in the group, and literally anyone could be the murderer at this point, especially because of the unreliable narrator, so we'll see. It's the next day and I did finish The Fury. I'm giving this book 5 stars. I don't even care. I think I mentioned yesterday that the reviews were really like mixed on the writing style, but I absolutely loved how this was written. The narrator was so unreliable, which just made for such entertainment for me. Like, he'd go into this whole entire story about like what had just happened, and then it turns out that that had not happened, and then something else happened, and then this was just a part of his imagination, and it was just, oh, I just loved it. I feel like at the end of every act there was like a twist, and I absolutely did not expect the ending at all. Maybe that's just me being stupid and not observant, but I did not expect the ending at all. There was like, I think 3 main twists in this that really, like, I didn't expect a single one of them. I absolutely loved it. I loved the writing, I loved the narrator. I think it was great. I'm giving it 5 stars. So that's Throne of Glass and The Fury that I've read in this vlog, and I've given both of them 5 stars, which is a great start to the week, or nearly end of the week now. Actually, 2 books come out today that I've pre-ordered. So I've pre-ordered The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson and The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. I kind of want to start one of those, but I do need to get through my March TBR, April TBR I mean. So I think I'm going to pick up a romance a bit later on. I don't know which one yet, but I'll let you know when I decide. I'm going to take a little break from reading, and then I'll pick up a romance later on. I just got my Amazon parcel, which is my pre-orders. I realised I was really dumb, and it turns out I actually pre-ordered Rachel Price, or The Reappearance of Rachel Price, like months ago. and completely forgot about it. So I have 2 copies, so I'm going to send one to Sarah. Okay, immediately annoyed. Why do Amazon do this? Literally why? But we have the rule book by Sarah Adams. Oh, it's literally destroyed. There's a hole. I don't know if you can see, but all up here there's a scratch. Oh, why do they do this? Anyway, this is about a girl called Nora. It says Nora Mackenzie's career lies in the hands of famous NFL player Derek Pender. The problem, he also happens to be her extremely hot college ex-boyfriend, and Nora didn't end things as gracefully as she could have back then. Now Derek is her first client as a full-time sports agent, and he's holding a grudge. Oh my god. Okay, so they're exes. She ends up being his agent. He's an NFL player. It sounds like there's a one-night stand. I'm guessing it's second chance romance. Then we have 2 copies of The Reappearance of Rachel Price. Why do Amazon do this? Okay, whatever. Let me just see what it looks like. Oh, wow, it says special first edition on it. That's really cool. That is very cool. Okay, this one says 18-year-old Belle has lived her whole life in the shadow of her mum's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness. Rachel is gone, presumed dead. The case is dragged up from the past when the Price family agrees to a true crime documentary. Belle can't wait for the filming to end, for life to go back to normal, but then Rachel Price reappears and life will never be normal again. Lights, camera, lies. This sounds so good. I want to read this soon. But I say that all the time. I still haven't read 5 Survive, which is shameful. But now I have 2 new books to add to my collection. I was literally just about to start Happily Never After when these arrived. I still think I'm going to pick up Happily Never After first. But yeah, I just wanted to show you my new releases. Okay, I'm going to give you my initial thoughts on Happily Never After. So, I started reading this last night. I think I said I was going to do that. I got to page 55 last night. Before I fell asleep, and this is just reminding me why I love Lynn Painter's adult books so much. They're so funny. Max and Sophie have met. Max objects to Sophie's wedding because her best friend hired him to, and then they meet back up and Max asks Sophie for her help because obviously a man can't object to all the weddings if it doesn't make sense to. So Max asks for Sophie's help, and essentially we've just gone through the first Sophie's first objection, and yeah, it's hilarious. I absolutely love Sophie's roommates. I think that is such a funny aspect as well. And essentially both Sophie and Max are people who don't do love, they don't do relationships. Sophie is very much like love is not real. All marriages are bound to end in divorce. It's really rare that people marry and stay in love forever, and so she's like really pessimistic when it comes to love, and she sees like these objections to weddings as doing them a favour, and I really like that. I can't wait to carry on reading it. I'm going to carry on tonight, hopefully in like an hour. It's currently 20 to 6. I've finished work, I just need to eat dinner and shower and stuff, and then I'm planning on reading this all night until I literally can't read anymore, until I can't keep my eyes open, because I just need to read more of this. I know that I'm going to be wetting myself laughing when it comes to this book, so yeah, I'm just really excited. And we've already had 2 5-star reads in this video, and honestly I feel like this is going to be another 5-star, so we're going to see. But I am definitely well and truly, if I was in a reading slump before, I'm definitely not in one anymore, and I'm so happy that I have this book in my hands and that I'm reading it, because Lynn Painter's adult books are just a dream for me. Okay, I'm gonna end out the vlog. I've finished Happily Never After. I'm sorry if I'm talking really quiet, but everyone is asleep. I wrote some notes on my phone. So I think I briefly mentioned, but this is like a fake dating trope. The two main characters, Sophie and Max, meet when Max objects to Sophie's wedding, and then they sort of become partners in this side hustle and go around to different weddings together and object. And then they realise that it would benefit both of them if they also pretended to date. So it's like a fake dating trope. This is not a spicy book. It's an adult romance, but there's no spice in it. Like, there are scenes, but it's like mostly fade to black, not descriptive at all. Sophie's end monologue in this really reminded me of 10 Things I Hate About You, but it's not enemies to lovers. Like, she doesn't hate Max, but the monologue just gave me like the vibes of the monologue from 10 Things I Hate About You, if that makes any sense at all. I think I'm gonna give this 4 stars. It didn't give me the same 5-star feeling that Mr. Wrong Number and The Love Wager gave me, which really upsets me because I love Lynn Painter's adult books, but like, it was really good, don't get me wrong, but it just didn't give me the 5-star feeling that the other books gave me. But it was still really, really good, and I really enjoyed myself. I really liked Sophie's roommates, and that whole aspect. But yeah, it's a 4-star for me. So that concludes this vlog. I've read 3 books in this video, and I really enjoyed all of them, and I'm really happy that I'm back doing the weekly reading vlogs. So yeah, I guess I'll see you next week.